Hi everybody, Rob Carter here from robcartermusic.com and Grace and Glory Records. Today we're going to take my modern player Thinline Telecaster with the MP90s in it. We're going to swap them out for GFS Soapbar mount Nashville Minitrons. They're basically a Filtertron style pickup, but they're pretty inexpensive. And I figured, well, might as well give it a shot, see if I like them. The fact is, I've really been wanting a Cabronita Thinline, but the cheapest ones are a lot more money than I have right now. So I play in a church that has some older wiring. Despite the fact that a lot of it's been replaced by wonderful electricians, it's still got a lot of noise present in the environment. So I found that those big fat single coils, where I love the sound at home, they pick up a lot of RF at church. So I wanted something that retained that kind of sound, but gave me a little bit more cut through the mix and a little bit more Gretschy kind of tone. Some Gretschy tone. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What I've decided to do that's a little different than I've done before, but actually makes a lot more sense, is I'm going to do the distorted sounds before and after. Then I'm going to do the clean sounds before and after. And then I'm going to go through some of the things that'll be helpful for you, some of the pitfalls that I found workarounds and how to actually do the pickup swap, okay? So I turned my gain down just a little bit, and I turned my power level up just a little bit, so. Do that all the time, bad habit. Let's go to the middle position. Going to the neck. just a little bit of an edge. All right, folks, here we go. This is what I have put in now. They're from GFS. This is guitarfetish.com. They are Nashville Minitron humbucker, vintage wound, and they're a Soapbar mount. So that I've replaced my P90s with Filtertron-esque stuff, and you'll see that a lot of the same tonal characteristics are there. It's a little more brightness, a little less hum because they're humbuckers, and I'm really enjoying it so far. You can draw your own conclusions. Change strings. I put the same strings back on, but the high E string broke. I just didn't want to have it skewed by new strings. So bridge. Here is the middle, as in both pickups. To the neck position. It's messing me up not having that high E string. Did I mention that I didn't change the strings? I don't remember if I did or not. But it's got the vintage style tuners. You actually insert the end of the string into it and then wind it around. So I was able to get 5 out of 6 of them back on, so we didn't have a skew from the brightness of new strings. So I turn the power level up a little more and the gain down a little bit more so we can get a little bit more of a clean sound. Start on the bridge again. There's a little bit of bridge, a little bit of neck, middle, sorry. So I'm reaching over here now. I'm going to turn down my gain a bit. I'm going to turn up my power level a bit so it doesn't break up as much. Give you a little bit of cleaning. Sorry about that, bad habit, allergies. Nice and chimey, like a Gretsch should be. That was to avoid copyright infringement, of course. Here's the middle. Try not to use too many effects too. I've got a little tiny bit of delay on there, that's about it. A little reverb maybe. But here's the neck. $80. That's what the pair of those pickups cost. So you can give it a shot if you like. If you don't like, hope you didn't throw out your old ones. Well, if you've made it this far, past the 15-minute mark, you might actually be considering doing this swap for yourself. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that'll help you get through all this. Things that I ran into that make it a really easy job. First of all, I obtained the pickups from guitarfetish.com. I'll put that right there down below here. And they are the Nashville Minitron Soapbar mount. You know, I'm sure you must know if you have a P90 guitar that another name for P90s or MP90s is soap bars, because in the cream color they kind of look like bars of soap. But here's what they look like. Now once you remove the strings, which isn't that bad considering it's got those nice traditional style tuners, there's 12 or 13 screws that come out that hold the pick guard, and you're going to notice that there is not a lot of slack for the control cavity. Literally, you can't even get more than a couple inches lift on there, and unless you know exactly where everything's soldered and can do it almost blind, I would not recommend taking that off. The thing is, the lead that goes from the pickup switch to the control cavity has no slack at all. It's very short. It routes through the
the neck pickup cavity. So what I recommend you do is actually cut the pickup wires themselves. So here's some pictures of what that looks like. Now here's a look at the wiring diagram that they give you. It's got 5 wires. The green is the one that you're going to want to attach to the positive. The black and the silver are the ones that you want to twist together and attach to the ground. The red and white ones you're not going to use at all, except for to figure out which way you want your pickups oriented. See, the red and white wires that come pre-twisted are intended to use for coil tapping. And since this guitar does not have coil tapping, what you want to do, thank you Mike Fisher, is to temporarily touch it to your ground. So you're going to want to plug the guitar in while you have the pickups out of the guitar and touch something magnetic to the 2 rows of pickups. Since it's a humbucker, obviously it's 2 rows of magnets. You want, for the neck pickup, you want to have the one that's activated when you have the red and whites touching to be the upper one. When it's the neck pickup, when it's the bridge pickup, you want it to be the lower one. So that's how you should orient the pickups. And it ends up that the wires end up crossing in kind of a weird way. The bridge pickup, the wire will come from the far side and cross under, and the neck pickup, it'll come from the top far side and wrap around. Okay, so there's 2 more things to mention. First, when you get the pickup rings, it can be a little tricky to figure out how the springs go on. You'll see that one end of the spring is a little bit lower, smaller and tapered, and it will not fit around the plastic sleeve of the end of the pickup rings inside. So what you want to do is put the bigger end of the spring over that. Then you want to take the tabs of the mini humbucker and kind of thread that through the spring so that when you flip it over to put it in, the screw can go through first the plastic, then the humbucker tab, then it'll come out the bottom of the little spring. Now, when you set the pickup into the pickup cavity, those new screws that you get with it are wider set than the old. So you're not going to be using the old holes. You're going to be tapping new screws. These are self-tapping screws, but what I did was once I got the pickup perfectly centered, I even took one of the strings, since I didn't take them all the way off, I threaded it, the low E string, through the nut to be sure that it was going to line up over the pole pieces. So, and then I took my little hammer that I have that has a plastic end on one side and a rubber head on the other side, and gave it a little tap to start it. Then I bared down on it and let the screw thread itself. So hopefully some of these things will save you some of the little aggravations that I had when I did it. And if you enjoy it, that's great. And thanks for watching. God bless you. And feel free to ask any questions you might have. And hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Stay away, trolls.